Okay, this is the way, in this video, you can see the way that examiners talk to students at the moment of the speaking test, okay? Let me share the sound.
Can I have your mark sheets, please?
As you notice, they are in pairs, okay? They get in to people at the same time. Usually it's a person you don't know, you have never seen in your life, okay? And they do that because in this way, there couldn't be an agreement between the two people for the answers. Okay, like if I touch my face, you're not saying the right answer. Or if I hold my hands, you're making a mistake. So in this way, students cannot agree what to do in the test, how to help each other without the examiner noticing that. In this case, presential, as every Cambridge test, and you have a mark sheet, okay, that you give to the examiner, and there she writes everything.
I'm Susan Watson, and this is Rada Roy Chowdhury. What's your name?
My name is Kenza.
Where do you come from?
I'm from Algeria.
Thank you. And what's your name?
My name is Mohammed.
Where do you come from?
From Saudi Arabia.
Thank you.
So notice, what is the first question? The first two questions?
Where are you from and what is your name?
Yes. The first two questions are always the same. Okay, what's your name and where are you from? In the case of Ecuador, this is international school. In the case of Ecuador, they might ask you, where from Ecuador are you? Because they understand all the students are Ecuadorian and they need to ask the place you come from. So asking you, okay, what's your name? Eduardo Mariño, where are you from? From Ecuador. But she might change the sentence and ask, where from Ecuador are you? No, I'm from Quito, I'm from Amazonia, I'm from Guayaquil, I'm from Esmeraldas, I'm from Quito, okay?
Mohammed, do you work or are you a student?
I work in a Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Thank you. And Kenza, do you work or are you a student?
I was a student, but I had finished at the university.
What do you do?
Now I have my own salon beauty.
Okay, so notice, which was the third question?
I can remember. Sorry. The job,
Do you work? Do you work or do you study? And notice that they don't answer, I work. But Mohammed was the one who answered first, says, I work in the on the Foreign Affairs Minister, Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores. Okay, so notice the answer is not John Wall, but they expect you to tell a complete sentence, to say a complete sentence. Do you work or do you study? I work. And then the explanation about what your job is about or where you work. In the case of Kenza, she says, I was a student, but I have finished everything. And the next question is, so what do? You say, I have my own salon beauty. It is beauty salon. It's beauty salon. So she made a mistake there. But even Mohammed noticed what the mistake was. He doesn't say anything. Okay?
Thank you. Do you think that English will be useful for you in the future?
Yes, I think that English is the most useful language in all the world.
Which was the question?
Do you think English is
in general, not the, which was the whole idea of the question? The question was, do you think English will be useful for you in the future? But she can ask, do you think how English would help you in 10 years? Because 10 years is in the future. Okay, and notice, you say yes, and I think, and immediately say why English she considers important. Okay, let's see Mohammed.
Because it permits us to achieve our objectives.
Notice that she made a mistake. Permit. Okay, it allows us.
And to go further than we think.
Tell us about the people you live with.
Notice, he didn't ask Mohammed the same question. Okay, here at this moment is when the questions are changed. What she asked to the woman is not what he asked to Mohammed, and likewise. He asked Mohammed, tell me about the people who live with you. And Kenza is going to be asked a completely different question. So the only questions which are the same is your name, where are you from, are you a student, or do you work? These three questions are always in the test, but from now on, questions change.
I live with my family in my country, and we have neighbors, and some of them are cousin of us, of me, yeah.
So notice, I live with my family in my country, and there are with some neighbors who are cousins of me, who are my cousins. Next question.
Kenza, how do you get to work every day?
How do you get to work every day? So notice, completely different. Maybe Kenza, or in your case, if you were there, you're thinking, ask it about the family. So my family is my mother, my father, my brother, and then you find a completely different question.
I generally get to work by car.
What did you do yesterday evening, Mohammed?
Stop present, change into past. So notice the first questions were about the present tense, and then she immediately changes the tense into past. She has already evaluated present, and let's go past tense. What did you do?
I've been gathering with my friends, and we go into one Middle East restaurant here in Cambridge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So notice he made a mistake. He used present perfect. We have been instead of we were.
We were.
He said we had been at an Eastern restaurant. No, we were at, or we went to, but no, we have been. Because remember, it means that now he's in the restaurant, that he went to the restaurant, and now he's still in the restaurant, and he's not at the restaurant. He is at the examiner's room. But notice that the lady doesn't correct them. She doesn't make any kind of observation regarding the answer.
Now, I'd like each of you to talk on your own about something. I'm going to give each of you a photograph, and I'd like you to talk about it. Kenza, here's your photograph. It shows someone getting information about something. Mohammed, you just listen. Kenza, please tell us what you can see in the photograph.
I can see a lady.
Notice?
Which is maybe...
Stop. Notice it is the same activity we have done in the speaking practice. She gets a photograph and she has to describe the photograph for the other person. Okay, like we have done in the practices. So she explains everything she can see.
Connecting on a laptop and reading on a book. He is normally in a library.
Notice says he is, not she is.
Is.
He is.
Or I don't think she is at home. Maybe she is preparing for an exam, for getting more information. Maybe she is revising. That's it.
Talk about the place.
So notice, she only described the girl, the situation, and the examiner needs more information. Okay, she should say she is in a at the library. I can see books behind her. She's wearing so and so.
I can see that she is in a library. There are a lot of books, and she is sitting alone. As I said before, she is maybe revising or preparing for an exam or presentation or...
Thank you.
So notice, it's not only describe the girl, but also the setting. So you don't have to describe only the person, but everything that you can see in the picture. In this case, if you describe the person, the situation, everything around her, the examiner won't ask you any other thing. Okay? But if you only describe one of the aspects, she will ask you again about the details you missed. Okay? It doesn't mean that your grade is going to be lowered. But in the notes, it would be she need to, or he need to ask a rephrasing question because the information given was not enough.
Mohammed, here is your photograph. It shows someone relaxing at home. Kenza, you just listen. Mohammed, please tell us what you can see in the photograph.
Yeah, I see one man, he's relaxing in his sofa and he left his mobile on the floor because he didn't want to distract by his mobile. And maybe he's a musician because there is one guitar just next to him. And maybe he just come from outside and he didn't take out his clothes. He just start to read and having one cup of tea and relaxing in his home. And maybe he's live alone because there's no one with him and his home is very tidy. There's no toys for his children or something. That's really maybe he live alone in his flat. And I think that the weather outside is cold because he didn't even...
Thank you.
So notice. Let me get the picture.
Hola.
Notice what he said. He put his mobile phone on the ground, maybe not to be distracted. He might be a musician. He's a musician because he has, yes, because he has a guitar. She might come
He's
from
a
the
bass
house.
player.
Yes, but guitar, bass, and musical instrument. Okay, because not everybody can. I can distinguish between a bass and a guitar. For me, that's a guitar. But notice that he says his apartment is tidy, it's very tidy. There are no toys, no objects on the ground. He might come from outside because he's wearing his clothes. It might be cold outside because of the clothes he's wearing, a cap, a sweater, heavy sweater, pants, socks. Guys, and notice the examiner didn't ask him anything else because he detailed the area, the way he's speaking, he's wearing, and make inferences, deductions. Okay, I think he might live alone because there are no toys, no other objects like from children on the floor. And it might be cold outside because of the clothes he's wearing. And notice that the examiner say, okay, and took the paper because what he said was enough for this part of the evaluation. Okay, let's go back again to. It's okay.
Now, in this part of the test, you're going to talk about something together for about 2 minutes. I'm going to describe a situation to you. A local football club is celebrating its 50th anniversary and wants to give its fans a gift.
Notice that this is something we have done in our speaking practice, okay? That you have people here and you have different options. And in this case, it's a gift for a football club's fan. Okay, select one of these to be given to the football fan. Okay, so they have to select one, say if it is appropriate or not, if they think people would like it or not, etc. So let's see. And notice, you're going to speak. You're going to talk to each other. And the examiner will notice if you use agreement and disagreement expressions, the vocabulary you use, etc. So let's see how Mohammed and Kenza talk about.
Here are some gifts the club could give. Talk together about the different things it could give and decide which the fans would like best. All right? Now talk together.
I think the calendar is perfect, or the t-shirt, because
I think. The first sentence is I think. I consider. I guess. I imagine fans would like this, and that. I think is the easiest and the most direct one. I think.
because for me, the calendar, I can see my club every day. When I just check in the date, I can see my club, and they are enjoying by the 5th anniversary or fifth established for their club.
I think the t-shirt.
So notice, he says the calendar and why he likes the calendar. And she starts also with, I think.
Is the best idea. So if he had the t-shirt with him, he can always remember the team.
Yeah. But sometimes you can't wear the same t-shirt every day.
And now he says he disagrees and says why. Maybe you cannot, for sure you cannot wear that t-shirt every day. And she's going to counter back his argument. Or says, oh yes, you're right.
At least you have it at home and you can see it, even if you don't wear it.
Yeah. And for this football, I think no, because I can't play football every day.
Not the football, because you can't play football every day.
If there is some students or from their fans, they can't play and keep it away from their studying or something.
I think it would be a good idea for the balloon football.
Yeah.
Notice, the balloon football, that's an interference. It is a football, or the ball for playing football. Balloon is un globo. So notice that she has made some mistakes in her vocabulary.
For this there, no, because or if they have a lot of children and from their fans, they can give it to their children.
Yes.
For book or album. I think it's album for pictures.
For pictures, yes.
Yes, it would be nice.
So that he can put all her pictures in this album. Yeah. And he can watch pictures whatever he wants.
Yeah, and you keep remembering your team by the cover. It's amazing.
Yes.
What about this bag? What do you think about this bag?
I don't think that it's a good idea.
It's useful nowadays. You can use it for going to school or for going to the gym. You can put your tools.
But to give an...
Which sport?
So remember, they have only 2 minutes. And notice, as soon as the 2 minutes pass, the lady take it back. What did they miss in that activity? I can hear you. Your mic is mute. What did they miss in the activity?
I don't know. Maybe say her names.
No.
Oh, no.
Remember, the lady said, here are some gifts to be given to the football fans, to the fans of the football game. You have to decide together which one the perfect one. They didn't decide. They just describe, I like this, I like that, but they didn't agree on a gift. Okay? So it's supposed not to describe each one, each aspect as they did, but to agree on one. And they didn't agree. He described the calendar, then they talk about the football, then they talk about the t-shirt, then they talk about the album. And at the moment the 2 minutes stopped, they were talking about the backpack. But they didn't say, okay, let's agree. Which one do you think? Oh no, let's give them the backpack. Okay, I agree. It's gonna be very useful. So when you are at this situation, you have to be very careful and take the time. Because otherwise, he's going to remove. Notice, they didn't let them even finish a sentence. She removed the image immediately. It's not, wait, ya va, que nos falta. So you have to be very careful with the time and try to guide your partner to get an agreement. Okay, maybe say, okay, which one do you consider the best? This because of this, and that. I consider this, and that. Or you just agree. And say, okay, I agree with your selection because of this, and this. So in 2 minutes, he can give, or the other person can give the reason for the selection. And you can say, I agree with you because of, and you give your ideas. Okay, that's the best way to conduct in this part of the test. What the other person says, agree immediately and give different ideas from him. For example, when he talks about the calendar, he says, the calendar, every time they check the day, they can see their team and feel happy, etc. And say, okay, I agree. And you can put a calendar in your bedroom or maybe in your study area, okay, where you can see it, or in your bedroom. So every day when you get dressed or when you wake up and get ready to leave, you can see the calendar. Or the calendar is something that people check every day, and notice it has spaces where they can write the date of exams, their appointments, special occasions. So instead of selecting another thing, you can agree with the other person's selection. So you can have an advantage because you fulfilled the requirements, discuss about something, agree, and say why. But if you do like they do, that they start describing everything, you waste time. And the purpose is, as she said, agree about something to give to the fans. Which is the trick. If you're the first who speaks, select something. If the other person selects something, try to convince the other person that your selection is the best one. Yes, you say the t-shirt, but a t-shirt, you have to wash it. Maybe after washing it for some time, it looks tidy, it looks untidy, it looks old, so they cannot wear it. But a calendar, they can use it for a year, for a whole year. Try to convince the other. Okay? Those are tricks you can use during the speaking test. Let's continue with the next part. The next question usually is related with the image you get. If you get an image of places to visit, she would ask you which place would you like to visit. If it is about sports, in this case, what's your favorite sport and why? If it is about a picnic, what kind of food would you like to take for a picnic? Or have you ever gone to a picnic? Have you ever had a picnic? Oh, yes, I usually go to a picnic. Where? I go to a picnic to a park next to my house, etc. Notice the question.
What do you like?
Which sports do you like?
I prefer football. I love football. I am my admirers football. I watch it. I play it. I am very interested about football. I watch it from when I was child. I rise with football. Yeah.
For me is swimming. I love swimming. I really enjoy swimming. It doesn't matter if it will be on summer or on spring. I love
Notice on summer or on spring. In summer, in spring,
In spring.
because they are seasons. And notice that they say, my favorite sport is because of.
swimming in the swimming pool, but especially on the beach. It's my favorite activity to do.
Yeah, swimming helped me sometimes to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I swim, that I lose my weight. I'm like flying and
Yes.
yeah, like floating in the water.
Yeah,
It's
swimming
amazing.
permits us to be relaxed.
Permits,
Yeah.
allow us.
Why do so many people like football?
Because
These are open questions. Each one is supposed to give his or her opinion on the question. Why do you think people like football?
everyone can watch it, and if you have one team in your like hometown or your country, he won a lot of competitions that make a lot of supporters became they have the same admirers and the same ambition about their teams. And for me it's the best sport. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. I think that football is an international sport. In every country, we can see that there is a lot of teams which play footballs. Yes, I agree.
Footballers.
Do you have a favorite sports team?
So notice everything is related to what they saw in the image. Football, the sport she likes. Do you have any favorite football team?
Yes, for me it's the Algerian team.
Do you agree?
Yeah, for me, I have one favorite team. It's from England, Manchester United. I love this team. I go to Old Trafford 2 times. It was amazing. Yeah.
So notice she doesn't know too much about soccer, about football. She says, okay, the Algerian, my country. But he knows about football because he likes football, etc. So by his answer, I'm a fan of the Manchester United. Okay, he
Yeah.
can give even more information, but she doesn't. Why? Because she doesn't like football.
Is it a good idea to join a fan club?
Yeah. To take in ideas and to keep discuss about our team, what we missing on some positions, or if we need to have a new players, or we discuss about the Gomers if they have like one player that they decide to have a contract with him, if he's good for this position or no. Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm not for this fan club.
And not for this. As she doesn't have any favorite soccer team, she cannot give information about if being a fan is good or bad, and says, no, that's not my thing. Another expression that maybe an examiner would like is, that's not my cup of tea.
That's not my cup of tea.
Yes. If she says, if instead of saying that's not my thing, she uses that expression, that's not my cup of tea, to say it is not something I like, the examiner would give thumbs up because you are using an everyday expression in spoken English. And remember, this is communication. Okay? This is not if you are using correct grammar or not. Basically, it's communication. So if you use everyday expressions that exist in English, the examiner would appreciate that.
Why?
Because I think it's a waste of time and I don't have enough time to study, so I can't go to this kind of activities.
Thank you. That is the end of the test.
Thank you.
So notice the test took 11 minutes, 5 seconds. Usually the tests don't take more than 12 minutes. 12 minutes is the exact time for doing that. Okay? So regarding the speaking class, the speaking practice we have had, has the speaking practice been related to this? What we have done for speaking in the master classes? Have we done the same activities?
If we like.
No. Have we done those 2 activities, those 3 activities during our speaking practice?
I think so. Yes, we done.
We have done it.
Or not? Yes.
Yes, remember we have describing pictures, we have select, but we have the man who needs to relax. You remember the image that say which of the activities do you think would be the most relaxing for the person? We didn't have the conversation, okay, but I have asked it, choose one and say why do you think is the best way for the man to relax. And we have described pictures. So as you have seen the video, the idea was that more people saw the video, okay? For the next practice, for the upgoing practices from speaking, we're going to do likewise. I'm going to put the image and I'm going to send you to different rooms so you can agree on something and then come and say, why do you agree? Okay, in 2 minutes. Okay. Because one of the objectives, as the courses are already in Unit 9, so it means we have 4 more units to finish the course, is to start pressing you on time. Okay, as you have seen the different skills, reading the ads, select the correct word, write the correct word, etc. Okay, I'm going to start pressing the students to be aware of the time, to try to do the activities in the time prescribed by the Cambridge test. I'm going to show you something. Let me see what it is, because I copied that. Cambridge qualifications, Cambridge full. Is the time. I want to show you the time that is officially given for solving each part of the test. How to write, give me a second, let me find it because I have lots of things here. Time expressions, start students, say tell, suffixes, report speech, relative pronouns, questions in past. Otherwise, let me find it in the internet, which are the times, okay, for answering each part of the Cambridge test. Give me a second, let me check. If it is not here, should be in Cambridge materials. I can cook in 20 minutes. Comparison, difference between be sick and be ill, causative, big and small differences, but causatives, causative, close tests, and but, article 1, article 2, ask us for. Actually, I'm designing the final test right now. I'm working on designing the final test, and it's going to be just like a real Cambridge test. Distribution the continuous, assessment handbook, A2, booklet for speaking, B1, speaking test, punctuation, no. Let me find it in the internet. I saw it yesterday. That's why maybe I didn't copy. Time for each skill in a Cambridge test. Yes. Let me see. Timetable. Here it is. I would like you to take a look as according to Cambridge, how long each part is going to be. Let me share it with you. So, so you can have an idea. So notice we have B1 preliminary, that is what you take, the PET, B2 first, C1 advanced, and C2 proficiency. So notice, reading 45 minutes for all the readings. Okay, writing 45 minutes. It's like 20 minutes for writing the email and 20 minutes for writing the article, the story. Okay, listening 30 minutes, speaking 12 minutes. It means that the exam can be carried on in 2.5 hours. Reading is quite long. Notice that they say 45 minutes. It is quite long. So what I'm doing is dividing the reading part in two sections, reading 1 and reading 2. Writing is going to be one single test for the time you're here, 50 minutes. Listening is going to be 50 minutes up to now, and speaking is going to be 12 minutes because I can, as you are going to work in pairs, I can take each group for 12 minutes, okay? But actually, I'm conscious that we haven't got enough practice to do this in 45 minutes. This, it is possible because we have written emails in 20 minutes. So this is possible. Listening, there is no way. It's going to be in 30 minutes. But what I'm concerned about is this, that we usually take 45, 50 minutes just for 1 or 2 exercises. This is the thing that I have to give you more pressure. Okay, right, reading. Notice that they say here, a B1 preliminary qualification shows that you have mastered the basics of English and you have practical language skills for everyday use. For this exam, there are 4 papers. First of all, your speaking skills will be tested. First, speaking. Afterward, you will work through the reading paper, followed by the writing. The last paper is the listening one. The total length of this exam is approximately 2 hours and 20 minutes. Here in Ecuador, they do it the other way. They start with reading, then writing, then listening, and finally speaking. And they have a break. In between each skill, they have a 10 to 15 minutes break. Usually they give reading and writing in the morning. Then they have a lunchtime break and people return for listening and speaking. That's the way the Cambridge test I have attended here in Ecuador has. First reading, then writing, a break, a long break for lunch, then listening and speaking at the end. Because usually the test starts the summoning. I don't know if you know that word. La convocatoria. Usually the summoning is for everybody to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. But it takes some time to distribute the students because it's not only one room, it's usually 2, 3, 4 rooms, depending on the number of people who register for the test. Besides, at the moment you get in, you are told that you cannot take your cell phone into the examiner's room, that you cannot take a bag or a rucksack or a backpack. You cannot take anything, not even a bottle of water. You can only get in with a pencil, not even an eraser, only an HB pencil. Not mechanic pencils, no pens, no erasers, no pencil sharpeners. If you need to sharpen your pencil, they have one. So people cannot get any cheating paper, ninguna chuleta, ningún pollo with them. And of course, it takes time because some people do not follow the rules. And no, because I need my cell phone. So they have like labels, etiquetas, and they put your name and they are set in a safe box. Okay, en una caja de seguridad. Lock. So they can tell you they are going to be safe. And of course, and they have your name and a number. You have, okay, give me my telephone. What's your name? Eduardo Mariño. Please give me the label. Okay, number, I don't know, 74. So they look number 74 and give it to you with your name and your number. So it takes time, as well as it takes time to collect all the reading part and distribute the writing part. So they say 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it's usually longer. Each part takes, like, instead of 45 minutes, an hour or an hour and 10 minutes. It depends on how many people are taking, because if you're in a room with 40 people, it's gonna take longer to distribute the test and to collect the test. Because it is not that they collect and gives you the other test. No, first they collect everything, check that the data are written. Okay, here's the name, here's the, okay, this one doesn't have name, is number 22. So the person number 22 go, I forgot the name, and write the name. So it takes time. That's why Cambridge tests usually start at 8 o'clock in the morning and finish at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's usually longer than you expect. Never shorter, always longer. Okay. And with this, we finish for today. Tomorrow, okay, we're going to have reading. Okay, but not the
perfect.
part, not the easy part where you say, okay, I read and I select them. No, the hard part. Introduce a sentence, introduce a word, introduce your own words. Those are the 3 ones in which you take most time. Okay. So Eduardo, have a nice day and see you tomorrow. Sorry for the delay again. I apologize.
It's okay. No worries.
Okay. Bye-bye.